So, guys, I was just gonna say real quick. I got my family 5 million each, my neighbors 5 million each, and then I got them to burn their own freaking houses down. It's fucking unbelievable. And I didn't do a damn thing. I didn't do like. You want to talk about wizardry? It's just amazing that I got all this done by not doing a fucking thing. I I'm the most influential guy in the last 10 years, more than 10 years. We'll say 10 years, bar none in the world. The most influential guy in the world is Jamie Eads. The last 10 years, every Catholic knows it, and I did nothing. All I did, I was like the bouncing off point of Catholics. It's like those people who try to tackle you and miss. You dodge them. That's basically me. I've been the dodger, except I did get hit too as I'm terminal. But it's unbelievable. They did it all to themselves, and then it's. But do you want to talk about karma? They had to burn their own fucking houses down. And anyway, for those who don't know, the people who paid off my family had to burn down their own houses because they're trying to cover up my murder. And I won't say they're trying to pin it on me and say I did it, but they want to at least make it look like I could have done it. Well, guess what? I was here in El Segundo when it was burning, which is miles and miles that way down the bay. I was nowhere near the fire during the whole period of the fire. So either fire, Altadena or the Palisades, Malibu. And I was there, what, 3 days ago through the area. You not only one person can't cause that, I saw it firsthand, which I already knew. 10 people couldn't have done it. To do the damage I saw, everybody had to be in on it, and they were. And they're going to rebuild their houses and land better than it was before. Now, there's some people who'll probably never come back, but you guys got to understand, that's a Catholic cult who lived there. They're all one society, and I was ready to live with them. But Jamie found out they murdered the homeless off and started talking, and he was out, and they tried to kill him, and I lived. So they had to pay off my family and neighbors, 5 million each per person. That means every family member, Scott, my brother Scott, Jeff, Lynn, Heather, Melanie, no Jamie, 5 million each, and I think my mom, who's now I think dead. Nobody told me. I still haven't gotten a message saying my mom died. What does that tell you? That means they were paid off and told not to talk to me. My mother apparently died, and possibly 5 years ago. I have not gotten one contact saying she died. Nothing. That never would happen unless they were paid off and told they can't talk to me unless told to. I've got no reply from my family at any contact since that Easter conversation with my sister in 2017 that's posted a million times on my Facebook page. So anyway, I posted the list of the famous women who like me. That's not all of them, but those are the ones I figured out and I'm confident putting. There may be some on that list who didn't like me, but they're involved. Everyone's involved. There's some I didn't put on the list who are very famous that I think are as well, but I just didn't put them on. There's quite a few people I haven't put on. My family knows who's true and who isn't. And again, they would never toot my horn and say that girl liked them if they didn't. So if my family ever says that famous person liked Jamie, they're telling the truth because they're not going to lie unless they're told by the people who paid them to lie. That's the only way they'd lie. They are not going to lie on their own. The only way they would lie about who liked me is if the people who paid them tell them to. That's it. So just so you know. Um, anyway, so I'm confident. And in that list, if you look at the list, a bunch of them lost their houses in the fire. And not only did they lose their houses, they also staged it where Altadena had a fire. The same thing. It wiped out the whole city. And it destroyed a bunch of their working locations, like movie sets and TV show sets that they worked on, that everybody back in Connecticut or back east who knew these women liked me. So to cover for it. So Jamie, first of all, Jamie couldn't possibly let them both. So if they want to pretend I did one, you can't. The only chance you can have is if you like one. You can't. There's no way you can get lucky and get Altadena, the Palisades and Malibu. Just happen to burn down the beach houses in Malibu. Guys, you can't burn down the beach houses in Malibu. It's impossible. The way they staged it, it had their. I guess their explanation would have to be the heat was so great blowing through the and it burned the houses that way because there's just no way the fire was jumping. I saw it first. I'm like, there's no way the fire jumped the road here. The road's perfect. Nothing. You see no damage to the road whatsoever. Yet this house is going right next to the water. It's like I don't think so. And then there's more to the story. They're all Mike DeFawn and AI computer. That is a fact, and they're hiding it. The news is not saying it. Catholics are all Mike DeFawn AI computer. My sister Heather married the son of the guy who built it, Paul. The guy who built it was Al Newell. He's one of them. He was the lead scientist at Rand in Santa Monica. They're all the top scientists in the world got together and built a computer. It's running fucking everything out here: traffic, air, land, and sea. So they're hiding that, and they hid it during the virus that they were all Mike DeFawn on a computer, and they hid it during the fires. Well, if you're all Mike DeFawn on a computer, then the fire shouldn't have got that out of hand because you all would know right away and be able to deal with it because you're all Mike DeFawn on a computer. So anyway, So they're hiding to burn down their houses. That means they got to be covering for something huge. Just think about it. Now, you guys got to understand these people have multiple houses. They burnt one of them to save the whole thing. Basically, to save the ship, they burnt one of their houses. Many of them have three or more houses in Southern California. They're all over the place. They have them, yeah, all on the coast houses. I'm not saying every resident there who lost a house does, but a good chunk of them do have multiple houses. And they burnt one of them to protect the liability of Jamie's case. Jamie basically owns Pacific Palisades. All the people, guys, they all vetted me to live there. I found out they murdered the homeless and they voted to kill me. So the city belongs to me. Well, obviously now it's the same with Malibu. I was vetted to live in Malibu. I was vetted to live in Beverly Hills. I was vetted to live. You name the fucking city. It's unbelievable. Montecito, where I got the sheriff. So if you look at the video with the sheriff a few days ago, and then the next morning you had the lifeguard. Catholics are all following a computer. They're wherever I go, they're being told by Pacific Palisades people to stage the cover story wherever I go, and that's why I was screaming at them. So if you ever see me in a video screaming at somebody, it's because they're covering up my murder. It's that's simple. I do not get mad at people. I don't waste my time on them. They're this, you know what I mean? It's like I get up in the morning, I take a trip up north. I lie on the beach for a few hours. I get up and I have a lifeguard vehicle cut me off all the time, and it's fucking to get you mad to say the least. And what they're trying to do is get me on their front camera as I'm going into the restroom every time. And so I went off on the fucking. I'm like, "What's your name?" And she wouldn't give me her name, and I said, "I want to get a cop," and that was what that was about. Anyway, I'm preventing the setup from being happening. So they're filming, and I'm trying to make sure because they're going to show when I'm dead, basically, guys. When they show the setup that they're staging on camera, which they worked out, the best in Hollywood got together and said this will work, but we have to stage all this video. That's what they're doing, and I'm trying to prevent that by when I scream at them. So obviously, it depends on a bunch of factors whether I do or not. Anyway, so yeah, that list, if you look at the list, I posted a few times, is rock solid. I mean, rock solid. So I was vetted to live in all those towns. And if you look at the list, guys, they're famous women who were married before, and who they were married to were huge, like famous people too. So I was vetted by the men as well, not just the women. So if you look at the women, look at how many of them have kids who were married to famous people. So the guys vetted me as well and decided, well, do we like this guy? Do we want him in our family? And they're all throughout all these cities. So they all voted to rush to kill me when I found out to kill off the homeless, which these families served a huge chunk of them, guys. The famous people's families were serving the homeless when I came out here. They even told me, like, the Sheen family runs Bread and Roses. I was like, oh, okay, well, guess what? Charlie's ex-wife liked me. I didn't know that. Anyway, my family, I guess, does. And apparently, four or five women from Two and a Half Men like me, which I had no idea. I didn't even watch the show in Connecticut. My family used to watch it every day. I'd come upstairs and be watching Two and a Half Men. So I come out here. Apparently, four or five women on the show like me. Not to mention ex-wife of Charlie, who was the star of the show, of course. Anyway, and Demi Moore like me, who was were they wife? Ashton and Demi, were they married? I think they were, right? So I had both guy stars, the two lead stars, ex-wives like me. And then you had Bruce Willis as well. Now he's acting like he's nuts. I don't know if he's nuts or not. I have no idea. I haven't been following his case. I had a positive opinion of Bruce when I got out here. Right now, it's kind of like mixed. I don't hear him bashing me, so I'm not too mad at him, as opposed to some people are actually bashing me. So guys, I was vetted to be in Arnold's family. His daughter liked me. Arnold's the one running this computer. For those who don't know, his family, the Kennedy family and Arnold are running this AI computer, and they're telling him all what to. That's why I said on the video with the cop the other day, I said Arnold's watching. The cop knows it. Arnold's one of the people telling him what to do. Now, obviously, Arnold's not always in the command with the mic and telling everybody what to do. His family is as well. His sons, they're all running it as well. And so they thought I found this all out on Third Ave. That's why they got me to Third Ave, guys. It was his right behind Gold's Gym, where his like second backyard. So he'd come from every morning and goes to Gold's Gym right there, and I was right behind it, sleeping on the street. And they were vetting me to see if I'd get in. And his daughter liked me, and a bunch of famous people. They all saw me. They're like, "We're either gonna accept this guy or we're gonna kill him." That's basically what they said. So they staged to kill me, stuff to kill me, and have a cover story for my family. They staged all that stuff, and I figured out part of it and freaked out, and they rushed to kill me, and I survived. Anyway, and so forth. And that's the story. And that's how the money got paid out. Just think about it. Just ask, did they pay his family $5 million and his neighbors each per person? Well, then he must be covering up murder then. That's right. What are they covering up? They murdered all the homeless and they tried killing me when I found out. So I'm a surviving, I wasn't technically a homeless guy. I'm a crime victim who was put on the street disabled. I wasn't a guy who just quit on life and became homeless, but I was put into that life, you could say, and now you could say I'm in it. Um, so what do you pay 5 million per person for? You're covering murder, and not just one guy either. You're covering up the fact that they killed the homeless, which are at minimal in the hundred. They were faking hundreds of them, and I've been here 10 years. They're gone, all of them. And to kill all the homeless guys, one state can't do it. A governor of one state can't say, "Oh, think about how many people have to be involved to kill the homeless." First of all, they come from every state, and they come from other countries. That means every state had to be involved. They were. They all got together, and now again, the group is Catholics, the Catholic Church. That's who killed them. They want the world of Catholics to mic the phone AI computer, and people who are homeless are at the bottom, and they happily kill them all. So the new system, guys, is they're all on a computer, right? Everybody on the planet's on this computer. So especially if you have electronics, if you have a cell phone, you are on their computer, and it ranks everybody in the world. You are a ranked person, and everything you do on your phone or computer is recorded through the camera. Whatever you look at, it's your phone's camera can see exactly what you're looking at in the video. It judges your opinion of the video, and it ranks you on how you would fit in this call. And the weakest are being killed off like this. This is you're not going to hear it on the news. You're hearing it from me. So, like I told you, I'm the most influential guy, period, in the world in the last 10 years. Especially a non-Catholic. There's no doubt about it. Any Catholic would agree. They're never going to say it, but a non-Catholic, I'm the most influential guy in the world. So anyway, they tried killing me in 2016. You had Biden and Obama. Obama apparently ordered the weapon with Arnold Schwarzenegger to kill me. They rushed to kill me. I survived. Then they had Trump take over, who Mike might be related to. Mike was the guy who befriended me when I came out here. Trump was involved. And then they paid off my family, switched Comey with Chris Wray, the FBI, and then faked it was because of Russia and all that. No. And then they tried killing me with the assault robbery. That was Trump. It was to cover up the whole thing and bury my story under he's crazy. So they were trying to get me to pull my knife on the guy or a bat. That's why he says, I'm going to grab a stick. You're going to die tonight. He was trying to get me either to pull a knife on him, my bat, something. They could shoot me and sell it on video. Well, I didn't do any of that. I got out alive, got the video out. And then they had Biden win, who was a VP when I got fried. Biden was in on ordering it with Obama. So then for 4 years, and then Kamala Harris was the Attorney General in California when I got fried, which is one of the people who decides to fry you. Now I don't know where she stood. She apparently stood up for me at some point. I can't swear if that's true, but and apparently Gavin did too. The governor, he was a lieutenant governor at the time. It was Jerry Brown was the governor when I got fried, and then Gavin had my medical records falsified because I had a MRI done after I got fried to see my brain. Well, they're not going to show me, so they had it falsified. Not only did they falsify it, they covered up for Connecticut. The damage from Connecticut, that's on my Facebook, that picture. Anyway, so guys, what happened in Connecticut is I didn't get in this cult. Eric Brent vetted me. So the cult's back in Connecticut too. Catholics are home like the fall on a computer. And I got poisoned in '07 by my own mother. She was provided poison, including by the Kennedy family, which includes RFK Jr., who's acting all noble now. Him and his family were involved getting poison provided to kill me in Connecticut. Just so you know. So they're all in the position to cover my murder now. He's in position to cover for the fact that I got poisoned and so forth. It's all well planned out. So they're hiding the alliance. They're having Trump fight with everybody, fight with Newsom, fight with Schiff. Adam Schiff's involved in my murder, the congressman here in California. Remember how him and Kash Patel pretended to fight, and him and Pam Bondi? They're all involved in my murder and covering it up. So, guys, I have been filmed since 1995. The FBI has footage of me every year, and they're trying to pretend not to know who I am, and they're setting me up on camera and going to pretend to catch me now, and then show the story on the news and cover for my family. And Pam Bondi's in on it. Kash Patel's in on it. So just so you know, I found out and I'm telling you the story. Anyway, okay, yeah. I mean, I could go on and on. How long is this live video? That what's it now going to be deleted after 30 days? Anyway, it's unbelievable. So my videos are apparently going to be deleted, the live ones in the 3rd of July, it says. Unless I get a court order to hold my videos, which if the FBI is filming my case, then they should have my live videos. That's a huge giveaway of the murder cover-up. If they allow my live videos to get deleted, then the FBI's involved covering my murder. That gives away right there. The fact that I'm being watched by the government, they would have those videos saved. So FBI, Patel, save my videos. None of those live videos should ever be gone from the public. So anyway. They did take the hockey player one I mentioned earlier in my videos. The one with the hockey player when I was hitting the balls out of the or at the park, um, and the guy with the hockey stick was like, "Call me a fag again." Oh, I hit you with a stick. The reason I did that is because they're trying to set me up as a fag, so I called him a fag. That's why I did it. I would never call somebody a fag, just so you know. So if you see videos like that, that's me at a character, and it's me responding to these people the way they are. It's not how I would normally act. I wouldn't go calling a guy a fag. So anyway, um, he's mic'd up. He was lying his ass off, and but they pulled the live video with him, and it wasn't right away. It was like a year ago or something. I all of a sudden out of the blue, I got a notification they pulled it. It's because the FBI is saying we can't set him up with that fucking video there, so they had him pull the video off. That's exactly what happened. Their command saying that on his page we cannot set him up with that on his page. Pull it off, and that's what they're doing. A bunch of my poker videos I noticed weren't public. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not public. If it was a live video, first of all, I don't remember how the hell I did that. It would have been a public post. Why would a live video not be? How do you make a live video and have it not public? Who are you making it for then? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, they have to cover for anything that basically to cover up my murder, they got to ruin my reputation and pretend I had no future whatsoever. So they got to cover up any ability I had, whether it was guitar or poker. I was the best play chip poker player in the world. Look, it's play chips. We all know that, but you can't win real money unless you're Catholic. They're all Catholics who make the phone on a computer and they're busting free playing poker. You can't beat them because they're all at a table mic'd up together. It's impossible to beat them. And not to mention that you got the shuffler. I'm sure the shuffler's got to be some kind of. I don't think the shuffle's legit either. I would doubt it. If they're all mic'd up on a computer, there's no reason to have the shuffle machine not illegit too, because nobody can disprove it. As long as you can't disprove it, they can do it. So, but even still, without that, even if you pretend the shuffle's legit, the machine there that they have, having everybody mic'd up together at the table, you can't beat that game. It's impossible. So, not to mention the rake on top of it. So, anyway, yeah. Is there anything else I want to talk about? So I started the video all to talk about the beginning, what I was talking about. Um, but yeah, the famous women, that was all legit. Um, so guys, I can't go anywhere out here in California without passing these women's homes. They live all throughout the coast, and the men, the women and men, the famous women who like me, they're everywhere. I can't go. I can go to San Diego. I can go to Santa Barbara like I did. They're all throughout. You can't get away from them. So what they're trying to do is get like stalker type shit. I only know where one famous person lives. I've been here 10 years. Their house, and it's speculative. I believe but it doesn't matter. And apparently the woman liked me, so why would I be? I wouldn't be mad at her anyway. Um, so yeah, I don't know where any of these famous people live. It's not going to do me any good to know. They want me to know because it's good for them because they can get a video of me looking at their house. So when I go by anybody's house, they try to get me to look. When I was coming back this time, they had IPS. They've done this before. It drives in front of me and pulls in front of houses. And then I pass it and then it drives in front of me and pulls in front of houses. And what it's trying to do, I'm not saying this time it did, but in the past, it was trying to get me to look at the houses, including, I'm telling you right now, some of the ones that got burnt down. So years ago, I came back from Malibu after I saw a couple coyotes. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So I got on my bike and I started going back. IPS truck, which is a private security, which for those who don't know, a job of a private security, all they can do is protect the person in person with them or their property. They can't follow you around. That's illegal. In no way contrary to those shows you see on TV, a private security company cannot follow you around. It would be illegal. Yeah, to say the least. So anyway, they're doing this. And what they're doing is they were trying to. I knew it at the time. They're trying to get me to look at the houses. So I'm like, these had to be, and that helped me figure out famous women like me. The fact that they were doing that, stuff like that, helped me figure it out. There's a bunch of factors that helped me figure it out. Instagram was huge at figuring out because they were stuffing them. Especially once I figured out a couple. Because once I started naming some, apparently some of the people they paid off are talking, whether they mean to talk or they're just talking in gossip, and they're spouting out all the famous women who like me. So what they're doing to counter that is they're putting them all on my Instagram. So Jamie will click on them and have many clicks so they can cover for if my family talks and show that. You guys understand? And say, how would he possibly know? And then almost make it like it's a scheme amongst my family or something. You know what I mean? Like, no, me and my family aren't close at all, to say the least. I've been talking to him since Heather was the last one I talked to in 2017, that Easter conversation. I have not talked to anybody in my family since. Nobody. They got paid off right after that Easter conversation. And that's when Comey and Chris Wray took off. Chris Wray came in. You could take a look, and they faked the whole. And now when Comey They just had the thing with Comey and Trump to hide the alliance, the payout by Comey saying the 86-47 thing. It's the cover for the him and Trump, the attempted murder with me and their involvement, and then paying off my family. That's what that's for, to hide the alliance. And then if I say it, you guys understand now? They're all covering the alliance. So Trump's bashing Newsom, calling him Newscomb and all that shit. Because apparently when they tried killing me in the assault robbery, Trump wanted me dead when that guy was painted, and Newsom may have said no. Somebody said no apparently, and it might have been Gavin Newsom because I wasn't fighting back or whatever. At that time, I didn't look. He knew I didn't know the famous women who liked me. He knew my family knew, and they got paid off, and they would have gone their whole life knowing that, or whoever said it. I don't know. I think it might have been Newsom. They'd have to live their whole life knowing he never knew we liked him, and you executed the guy without fighting back on the beach. He wasn't even fighting back on the beach. They'd have to live with that their whole life, and all because Trump wanted to cover up the liability for himself, the piece of garbage he is. Guys, I own it. All this shit is mine. What's he worth? $8 billion? It's all mine, 100%. He knows it, and he wanted me dead to cover for it. So go get it from him. Him and his whole family are involved. Take all their stuff from him. They don't own it. It's mine. Whether I'm dead or alive, take his stuff. He's not the only one, but he's one. So he tried executing me like a coward on the beach with that pig guy painted to cover for the money that he owes me for being. He apparently was involved in me eating poison in '07. That's how far back Trump goes. And so the video they have of me that they're going to show to set me up, Trump was involved seeing way back in like '07 and before. Well, before '07. Pam Bondi saw all this stuff, Cass Patel, and they're pretending not to know who I am, and they're going to figure it out, and that's what they're staging now, and that's what I'm trying to prevent. And I'm giving it away to you. My Free Cams is in on it. For those who don't know, My Free Cams had nothing to do with way back and me being poisoned. So just so you know. Um, anyway, they're all guys. My Free Cams are all CIA, FBI girls. It's the only reason I go on the site. If they were just regular girls, I wouldn't care. Like I don't care. These are all the girls, the families who fucked me over. So that's my only interest in My Free Cams. Is those are the families who had me fried and then paid off my family. They're all CIA and FBI government families, the top Catholic families. And I was vetted for some of those girls like me. Um, yeah, some like me, some didn't. Obviously, if everybody liked me, I probably wouldn't have been fried. Anyway, so guys, what happened the first time they tried killing me? They used radiation because they didn't want to have me getting beat to death. You could say because they didn't want my family to have to answer questions. Why did he get beat to death? So they were going to say it was a heart attack or a personal health issue or something. Well, Jamie lived. So then Jamie lived and outed his family. What did they do? They had the guy painted, and they were going to make me look like some sicko to cover for I outed my family now. So now we got to destroy his reputation. That's how it worked. Do you understand? So the first attempt was they were going to just say it was a health problem. Jamie died, and it covers for everybody involved, including my neighbors who were involved, which is why they got $5 million each. Jamie survived and outed them. Well, guess what? Now Jamie's going to get his ass kicked, and we're going to say he's some sicko on the beach. And that was what that was. And I got out alive and got the video out, and that's what happened. Anyway, that's the story. So, yeah, Jamie's owed in the billions, which I didn't know. I was like, until, billions. Guys, if you know all the people who fucked me over, they're trillionaires. Some of them, they're fucking. It's the amount of money is sick. I'm not saying I deserve all that money, but if you took a case and you look at the guy and who did it to him, the amount of money is way more than $10 million. And my family got $5 million each. They must feel like they got gypped. Well, they didn't really get gypped because they got free money. I won't say free money. They got money to bury their own sibling who was innocent, and now they got to live with it the rest of their life. And so do my neighbors. So anyway. And then hope they don't get punished in the afterlife if there is one, for taking money, blood money. Anyway, apparently they're asking for more money, by the way. That's what I think is going on. I don't know if they're giving it to them. The more money they get, I'll tell you right now, everybody out here is getting more mad. So if they do get more money, it's just going to make them more people here more mad, which isn't good for them either. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So I guess it's sick. I never would have taken a penny to bury my own family. It's unbelievable that they took $5 million each and apparently want more money. And apparently somebody, at least one, blew all their money. And not only did they blow their money, they might have blown it in a poker game. So one of my siblings, which should be obvious who, apparently played with a bunch of celebs, and Kobe Bryant might have been one of them. And Michael Jordan might have been another one. Again, I'm speculating to some degree. And then if you name the poker pros, I named like Helmuth and Negreanu and Ivy might have been there. Tom Dwan might have been there. Mattisau might have been there. Again, they know of this. I'm not saying each one was there, but they all know who was there. And it's crazy that they would pay off my family and then take one of their money like that is just stupid. And apparently that's why they had to burn their own fucking houses down. Are they that stupid? Like, don't you know what's going to happen if you pay off one of my siblings and then take his money in a poker game? Are you fucking crazy? He's got no chance at winning. Like, I would have a hard time winning. Just the fact that they're not playing against each other. Everybody at the table would be playing to beat you. They may not, you could be better than every one of them. But if you got 5 or 8 to 1, it's not an easy game. And trust me, I'm as close to an expert as it gets who isn't a professional real money cash game player. I could hang in a game like that, but I wouldn't because I know the chances. You're an underdog. It's just a fact. Um, but I'd have as much a chance as anybody who isn't a professional at that, and they know that in a game like that. Unlike if my sibling played, he couldn't beat low level free play chip games. That. It's just no chance he would have had, and they would have known that. And it's like, what do you think's going to happen when he loses his money? He's going to start talking. There's just no doubt about it. If you get $5 million and you blow it, especially quickly, like within a year or two. And they might have to stage a virus over that shit too. So if my family started talking, that's why they staged a virus. I was thinking they did all that for me, really. But if my family was talking, yeah, because apparently they shut me off. Which this video might not be being seen by anybody. They shut off any communication with me in the outside world with the virus, and then the family as well. So the virus provided to shut off everybody from talking cover real quick, which may be why, I don't know. But again, guys, if you want proof, they're all microphone AI computer. That's a fact. So why didn't they say it during the virus? Everybody's fighting for their lives. Anyway, so if you know, could something like that be staged by Catholics? Absolutely. They control all hospitals. The Catholic Church guys control the money, the bank, all the banks, which paid off my family. They control all the hospitals. And they want a world of Catholics only. Staging something like that. It's a pain in the ass. It wasn't fun, but when the church orders it, they do it. Anyway, everybody here wasn't afraid the whole time, by the way. So I'm here in Southern California. Nobody was ever worried during the virus about the virus. It was pretty obvious who was being staged here, which I knew. Um, and then it provided a cover for if I talk, I'd look crazy because if you say it's fake, you're going to look like a nutcase. You know what I mean? So it was a cover for that. And then it cut me off, guys, from electricity. So I couldn't go to the library. All the libraries were closed. Then I finally got to a park that had electricity, and then they originally cut it off, but put it on again because I made videos saying it had electricity, and they cut it off. Anyway, they eventually did cut it. But I did have electricity for some time. And then they would steal my stuff. So they stole my guitar stuff to stop any guitar playing because they were worried about my guitar playing getting out. Because apparently they told people basically a guy had no future, as opposed to no, this guy could have been a professional guitar player. Potentially, it depends on obviously some factors, but his ability to play the guitar is quite good. And it doesn't fit their cover up story, to say the least. So guys, I was vetted to live in the cities of all these top guitar players I liked. And so if you don't know, and not only that, they're in the Rand families. The ones I named, they're all in the families who built the computer. So all the top guitar players I listed to came from these Rand families, which explains their education. So they took my guitar in the assault robbery, but the guy painted. They would not let me get my guitar, and then they gave it to Vi in his video, and they put it in his video. They stripped the guitar down. He paints it, sticks it in his dark matter video, and puts it on my birthday on YouTube. I wasn't subscribed to Vi. It was the first video on my YouTube. So that's who I'm dealing with. And then that as well caused them to stage a virus, I believe, because that was getting out of hand. I posted Vi was involved, and I told Leonie I wanted my sister arrested for attempted murder, and nothing happened, of course. And I started looking into attorneys too, which might have helped. And then the virus thing, all of a sudden, libraries shut down, and then all courts got shut down. So Jamie had no ability to sue for attempted murder, and that was intentional. So Jamie's never gotten any justice for this whole thing. You guys understand now? Anyway, I couldn't make this stuff up. So it explains everything. Oh, we didn't get justice because of fucking, I don't know. He didn't think to go to a lawyer. I did have a lawyer, Gail Schlossberg's husband's firm. Gail Schlossberg, the vice chair of the Public Health Committee in Connecticut, who was involved providing poison to my mother to kill me. After I survived, I got her husband's law firm. Referred, my mom made the phone call. Not there. We called somebody else, and they referred me to David Schlossberg. What for the cover up that they knew was attempted murder. I didn't know. My mom knew because she was provided it. And my mom acted out the whole fucking thing. So we went to talk to the lawyers and my mom acted out the whole time we were there while she was basically with them in the whole thing, you know what I mean? So she got paid off. Anyway, it's ironic though that my mom tried killing me and she apparently died. So I outlived my mother. even more karma, which was what I mentioned earlier, the fact that these guys had to burn down their own fucking houses, and then my mom tries killing me, and she died before me. So somebody's looking out, I guess. Look, my life is ruined as far as Jamie Eats died in '07. That guy, I loved my life. Like that guy loved his fucking life. And he's dead. My life got ruined. So I don't view any of this as a success, but they did get some karma for what they did. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. You know, how long? It doesn't have a time. It usually gives us time for this kind of stuff, doesn't it? I hope it's posting. You know, it is. It says live. Anyway. So the good thing is I've been able to live in Southern California for 10 years, which was my dream when I was healthy to live out here. At least for a part of my life, I always wanted to live in California because I just grew up wanting to be out here. When I used to go to school as a kid, I used to dream about California all the time. So I'd be in Connecticut and thinking about California when I was in school all the time. So to be able to live out here, even though it's in this situation, it's still been something. I've been able to travel much of Southern California, the coast, and see stuff that I never would have seen. Even healthy, probably. Just take the e-bike here, even though it doesn't work now. I got 5,000 miles on this e-bike, which is insane for what, 8 months, 8 months of use. 5,000 miles. That's like Connecticut to Connecticut and almost back here. That's how far that is, um, which is pretty insane. Anyway, if anybody wonders if I'm really injured, I used to drive. I haven't driven since what, oh 09? Was it '09 or 2011? '09, or it's been like that long since I've driven. So if you to give you an idea, I drove 100,000 miles on my Acura in a year. That's how much. I wouldn't just give up driving. That's how fucked up I am. Where I have no desire to. I mean, I would drive if I had money and could. Right now, obviously, I don't have money to afford any of that shit. I could drive. It's not like I can't, but I can't do all the stuff needed to be able to drive because I'm too damaged. And they're keeping me basically flat on the ground with nothing. I'm on welfare basically, and they're keeping it like that because I have no power on welfare. So why I yell at all these cops? They all know what happened to me. The sheriff guy, the deputies from the other day, they know what happened to me. They know my family got paid off. The woman and the guy, they're lying their asses off, and so was the guy the next morning on the pier. He's lying his ass off. How sure am I? I'll give you $1 billion. That's how sure I know for a fact. Um, so when you hear me yelling in my videos, it's that somebody who's lying. If they were telling the truth, or if they didn't know and they're just ignorant, I wouldn't be as mad at them. Um, Yeah, to say the least. If you hear see me in my videos yelling at somebody, it's because they're involved in my case. It's that simple. It doesn't mean that they're not just because I approached them. You guys got to realize technology is they're all mic'd up on a computer and everybody's mic'd up together. So when I go up to somebody, they're linked to the whole story. As opposed to if you took that out of the equation, then I would be going up to somebody who, unless it's word of mouth, wouldn't know my story. Well, that's not the case. They're mic'd up on a computer. They all know what happened to me. So when I go up to yell at somebody, it could be in a different city for the day before. They know what happened to me because they're mic'd up on a computer. And the news is hiding this. So you guys got to understand that's huge. If you don't understand that, you would think I'm nuts. So do I sound nuts to you? I mean, use your head. So obviously, look, I'm telling you something that if you haven't seen on the news, you may question. Really, everybody's mic'd up. Why isn't the news saying it? Because it's the people who don't get in are being killed off, and the news is not going to tell you that. It's just like the Titanic. If the ship's going to sink, they're not going to tell you the people are going to die. They're going to die. So the top in the world came up with the type of people they want. They thought it through, and and not only that, the numbers. They know how many people on the planet they want, and they're killing off everybody else. And they're using high technology to do it now. And it was only a matter of time this was going to happen, where the top were killing off the lower level people. I knew it was going to happen when I was healthy eventually. Um, so, uh, anyway, now you can see why I survived this long because how much I know. If you listen to me talk, it's like, wow. And then how much smarter I've gotten. When I first came out here, I knew shit. Like, you listen to my old clips from years ago, it's like, wow, I was in the dark. I didn't know anything. But now you listen to me talk, it's like, this is the guy who knows what the hell he's talking about now. It's like, I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about finally, which wasn't the case in the past. I even listened to, like I said, I listened to old clips and it was like, my God, what I didn't know then. And look, there's still stuff I don't know, but I know like 90 something percent of what happened to me. Something in that range, maybe. At least that's what it might be a little high ranked for me, um, but that's, yeah. Um, but yeah, look at that list of famous women. It's unbelievable. Like and how many of them are billionaires? There's like at least five on that list, I think, that are. I don't care about their money as far as wanting half their money. If they voted to have me killed, that's a different story. If they didn't, then obviously I don't think I'm owed their money in any way. Um, Look, I'm a kind of guy. If say I married one of those women, I would believe that whatever was theirs before the marriage is theirs, and then you could split the marriage years if you could split. I think that's pretty fair on everybody's side. Um, whatever they, obviously, look, it could be lopsided because if you marry a famous woman and she's making a huge amount of money, it's not the same as if you were working. You know what I mean? And it's going to be lopsided. The fact that they would have to pay you a lot of money. That's obviously stuff that gets worked out. But that's stuff we would, I guess, have to work out. I don't care about that stuff because I would want to get with somebody who you wouldn't split up, and there wouldn't have to be that issue of dividing any kind of money. So, um, for some reason, my mom believed I was some kind of gold digger because the people who provided the poison to her convinced my mother I was like trash. So my mom thought so. So she got poisoned to kill me. They convinced my mom I was trash. And then apparently they had to pair her off when she was like, "What the fuck? He's not the guy you said he was," and that's what happened. Anyway, my mom used to like I was like one of her favorite sons. At least I thought so. Well, it's funny. I thought so, but then you look at the fact that she never educated me about the Catholic Church. She grew up in the church. She never really like she never told me the plans. They wanted a world of Catholics only, and every Catholic knows this. She never told me any of this stuff, so she couldn't have liked me that much because she didn't tell me that. So I look back, it's like, how much did she really like me? Um, so I had no idea. So anyway, to the free people watching, Catholics all take an oath; they don't talk, but they all know the plans. They want a world of Catholics only. They all swear to it, and they don't talk. So if you ask them about religion, they might say, "Well, there's a Bible," but they don't talk about their religion. That's why Catholics never talk. And if you try asking them, they'll get mad at you. It's because if they talk, they can get punished or killed for it. So that's why they all get mad. When I talk to them, and if you talk to a Catholic and ask them about religion, they can get mad at you because of the danger of it. Or they'll just say, like I said, they'll say, get a Bible. They're told what to do. They'll just tell you, oh, go to church and read a Bible. That's about all they'll do. Um, anyway, yeah. So now I got a government in place that's covering up my murder, which look, they all have, but guys, they got to set me up on camera first. And it's been dragging on, dragging on, dragging on. And different administrations would change. They weren't able to do it during Biden, Harris, and now Trump's back with the Ohio guy, who apparently is related to women who like me too. By the way, it's like, wow, really? Was he related to? Look at the list and see if he's related to anybody there. Apparently. Um. Okay. I guess my audio is it coming through my earbuds or going through my phone? I have no idea. I'd have to hear the. Which I'm fine. I can go back and listen. Good. All right. I guess I should end it. I was only going to talk for. I can't only talk for like a minute. Every time I try doing that, just because I know it's not adequate enough, just stop there after a minute. I'm like, I gotta tell more. They gotta like if they've never seen my videos before. So guys, I only make videos so they don't get away with my murder. That's it. It's a victim who's trying to make it where the people who did it don't get away with it because his life's trash. So that's why I make my videos. I hate the fact that I have to do that. I should be a guy who's showing his lovely family on Facebook if I'd even do that. You know what I mean? You're showing all these nice family pictures and all the stuff you're doing with your kids. I should be doing those videos. That was taken from me. So what happens is they have to cover for the fact that they took that from me and pretend he was trash. And so they're staging everything you could imagine to bury the fact that this guy should have had a wife and kids and lived a happy life. So they got to make it look like he was a guy who was never going to have that anyway. That's what they're doing. So again, anybody who takes the videos, guys, who's in the videos, who organizes the videos, because remember, videos get taken right by say police videos. There's people who have to organize that. Think about that for a second. They're all involved in my murder, and you need to find out who they are and take care of them. So whoever's in the videos with me, takes the videos, shows the videos, are all involved in my murder. And if you ever see advertisements in the videos, like of famous people, it's them trying to cover for the famous people. It probably, I won't say all cases, because look, you pass a billboard out here all the time. But in many cases, I can assure you, it's people involved in my murder, and it's there and being filmed to try to cover for the people as well. So, especially if it's a location I frequent, and I when I went there, it wasn't there, and then it becomes stuff like that. They're doing all these tricks to cover up my murder. Because what you do is you put the billboard in the shot with me, right? And I keep going to a location. He's going to look at the billboard 60,000 times. So what you do is you just film him looking at the billboard with the time lapse, and it'll look like he's a crazy guy who's obsessed with the stuff like that. Is what they're doing. They're doing time lapse tricks on camera, they're trying to get me to look at stuff on camera on my path every day, and they're going to set me up on time lapse video and show it in the news. So they can show you a bunch of stuff that looks like a lot of information real quick, but it's really not much at all. And it's going to hide the audio too, which in so many cases they try to get me to look by sound. They'll do like a loud bang, or not even always loud, just some kind of sound to get me to look, or just by the way the person's walking. They try to get me to look at something so they have somebody walk in front of me, either coming from the target or going towards where they want me to look. So they'll have people walk in front of me when they want me to either to look. So remember this, you'll see it in the time lapse video. They'll be trying to direct my attention to where they started from, that direction, or where they're going. And sometimes both. So that's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? So if I have a path, right, and they're filming me, to cover up my murder, they want me to look at select items in my path that they can use. Anything. If you look around, there's so many things that you can use to cover up. It's unbelievable when you know this little trick. So they're trying to get me to look regularly at stuff and using all sorts of tricks, including have people walk from the location in front of me or to the location and trying to get me on time lapse video looking and then show a bunch of times. That's what they're doing. So just so you know, don't fall for it. It's a computer's running all traffic out here. Everybody's got a hidden camera on their cars. So I'm filmed the whole time, the whole trip. So what they're trying to do is get me to look at all the cars that have any value. Take the people in Connecticut who got paid off. I haven't seen them since some 2015, maybe 2014. Like my neighbors, I haven't seen them in 10, 11 years. The only way to bring my neighbors back in the story here is their cars. So or lookalikes, people who look like them. They do both. So they get them in front of me and trying to get me to react to them on camera to cover for it. So I look crazy. So you guys understand? That's what they came up with. Police out here, which are in their families who hadn't paid off, said to cover up this guy's murder, you got to make him look like he's a psycho, and he sees their car, and then people who look like him, and he gets mad. So that's what they're doing. You guys understand? So they came up with this. The best came up with a plot on what we have to sell this guy as, and then how to get it on video, and that's what they're doing. And that's why I'm screaming at them in all my videos because they're trying to set me up. Anyway, there's no topic I haven't discussed in my videos about what goes on out here. I don't believe. The problem is I believe they're shutting them off from being seen. So if you can't see them, again, when the cover up's being shown, just say, where the hell's Jamie? He's dead? You waited for him to be dead. He's been saying you're covering up his murder for 10 years now. You waited for him to be dead to show us his stuff? That should be the biggest giveaway, you guys. And the only way they're going to sell is they're going to say, well, we didn't know it was him. They're full of shit. They didn't know it was me. Anyway, piece of garbage is there. Anyway, guys, my Acura was registered to me all the time I had it. It was from day one. The Acura Integra, those in Milford. I had the Acura Integra in 90. It was a 95, and I got it in, 98? I think I got a 98. So it was a 3-year-old car. It was always registered to me from day one until I lost the car, or the car was gone. It was never registered to anybody else. So for them to claim they have video of me with my Acura and not know who I was, they're full of shit. They knew exactly who I was, and it led to me being poisoned by my mother in Connecticut. And to hide this, they're going to pretend to not know who I was, show the video, and then pretend to be hero. No. Do you guys understand? That's what they're doing. And Fox News is on it. All the news are. I parked in front of Fox News in early 2000s and got a ticket. And they're involved. And they were involved having me poisoned. That's partly why Brent vetted me. They want to see what I was up to. I parked in front of Fox News. I went and watched some of Hannity's show from the outside, and then I went to Rockefeller Center and saw some of Ashley Banfield and MSNBC's programming. So they got Eric Brent, apparently. I think that was after that. They wanted to see what I was up to, so they had Brent come befriend me to see what was going on. And it led to me being poisoned in '07. So O'Reilly took off from Fox News. Hannity's involved. He's one of the planners behind the scenes, for those who don't know. Sean Hannity is. And apparently Palm Beach is a big area for the planning. So apparently Amy is one of the people. That's why my sister said, did you talk to Amy? Because Amy's apparently one of the people who's in the planning, because she's down in Florida with them. So just so you know, I figured this all out. I had no idea. I was like, what's Amy got to do with anything? So they filmed me on video all in the early 2000s and told my mom basically to kill me because I wasn't going to get in this cult and I wasn't going to amount to what I'd want. And I'd be a problem. That's what they believed. Because, guys, everybody's like the phone on a computer. You have to be told where to go. And they didn't think I would go along. So, like, he's going to be a problem. So we got to do something. So they convinced my mom to have me poisoned in '07. Now, you guys got to understand, to them, I was viewed as a sinner, a guy who violates the Bible. And that's why they convinced my mom, because she grew up in the Bible. Well, Jamie didn't. But to them, I was a sinner. So she convinced my mom. Or, I'm sorry, they convinced my mom to have me poisoned, and I lived. And my whole town knew about it. Oh, the Catholics knew about it before. The EMTs who came knew everything. It was like, holy shit, they were killing off. That's why I said they killed Timmy Madison too. My neighbor Timmy Madison was apparently killed too for being a sinner. That's some speculation though. And then Chris McCarthy at age 11, apparently he did something which is probably sex related. Catholics almost always kill over sex, I've learned, which is, you know. So that's what happened. I hope it's clear to people watching. It's a lot of shit, but anyway. All right, I guess I should end the video. So if you guys want to follow my stuff, if you're interested, it's all on iCloud. That's where Facebook, I only post occasionally stuff. I post the links to iCloud, and iCloud posts the day-to-day stuff, everything. Everything is on iCloud. That is the number one posted place for me. Um, so, and then I do Google Photos. I'll put my photos. I used to do videos. I don't really do those much anymore. I do my guitar clips. Um, so anyway. Now my guitar clips, I'll talk guitar real quick. Look, it's good for what it is. I'm playing with a cheap guitar. It's the pickups are rusty. I need to de-rust them with WD-40, but I have to buy it. I don't have any money right now. Or I haven't, I don't have enough in my budget right now to risk buying it and need my money for something else. So, um, but if you listen to my clips lately, they definitely are suffering from output, having a lower output than I should. And then the battery I have to buy for the pedal, which provides much of my distortion sound, which goes into the app with the phone. So, I had bought an Apogee Duet originally to record with, and they stole it. So I had to then buy Jam Plus, which is a lower version of an Apogee, but it's still good quality. If you listen to my clips, they're pretty decent. Especially the last few were pretty good. Um, and then obviously, look, I don't carry around a wah wah pedal, so I'm not going to play. Like I released this, I post songs that have wah in it, but I obviously am not going to carry around a big pedal just to get wah in my songs. So, um, the cover songs, that is, not my songs. Um, anyway, and I'm not in the position now to learn complex sections of these songs. So if you hear my clips and I'm just playing like the melody or something and not playing the solos because it's just too much work in my shoes out here to try to go over the solo and get it right if it's too complex. So I don't bother that stuff. So yeah, it's just not high on the priority list right now. You know what I mean? So and you guys gotta understand I'm terminal and disabled. So it's not like he's a healthy Jamie. He's dying. And I have to decide with what I want to do with the rest of my life as I'm dying. That's why I take these trips I take to try to enjoy what's left of my life as much as I can, given the situation I'm in. So anyway, so this is me. That you're seeing legit Jamie right now in the condition I am. This is me being 100% straight. There's no lying right now. There's no acting. So if you see anything different than you see right now, this is a baseline for anybody who doesn't know. Out here, it's because I'm in character. That's that simple. So if you ever see anything different out here, he's doing it for a reason. He's in character. That's all you need to know. And this is straight. I don't all of a sudden turn cuckoo. This is exactly how I am. But out here, I have to act many different. You know what I mean? You have to play the role. First of all, everybody out here is playing different roles and hiding their own microphone on a computer. So when somebody comes up to me posing as homeless, they're acting like they're a homeless person, like their life depends on it. They are. So Jamie can't be like, "You're fucking lying. You're not homeless," even though they're not. They're lying. I'd get killed. You guys understand? They're playing a role for the camera, and if I lose on camera, I die. So I have to play along with their role um, to survive. Now, what they're going to do is they're trying to set me up using that trick and make it look like I'm trying to be deceptive. It's like, not at all. I'm just trying to, Jamie's trying to get his justice for what happened to him and survive. That's it. There's no gaming whatsoever. Look, I'm on the street. Like, look at my videos. It's not building me up in any way. Like, this, you know what I mean? It's like their cover story makes no sense. I'm trying to figure out their cover story, and I just don't see any cover story that makes any sense at all. As far as why would a guy like look at the kind of image I'd be giving off? Like it's not positive at all. So why would I to get welfare money? Are you serious? Like what are they? They're trying to like set me up like I'm a fraud of welfare money. It's the least amount of money you can get in this world. Like it's sickening how low the amount. And just like I said, find out was his family paid off my money, and then go get the people who set me up. I mean, it's unbelievable if I get set up. What should happen to the people who did it? It's like yeah, the cover up is worse than the crime. Holy shit, they weren't kidding when they said that. It's totally true. The cover up is because they do whatever they do to keep it covered up. So if you start talking, guys, as a victim, they without you being dead, they bury you as much as it's unbelievable. They don't quit. It's totally true too. So I've learned firsthand what it's really like, a cover up. And so I mentioned it last night what a cover up is, guys. For those who don't know, it's basically a more powerful group who victimize a less powerful person and they survive or whatever, and they got to hide it from C. So you got A, B, and C, which is you guys, say you guys, the viewer who doesn't know what the fuck happened. You got the two parties involved, right? A, B. We'll say A, B. It doesn't matter who's who. And then you got C, the audience who would have to, you have to hide it from. That's what a cover up is. You have one of the two parties lying about what happened because they victimized the other one to C. That's what a cover up, that's what they're doing. And that's the government who's lying, who had me poisoned and paid off my family. And I'm naming the people: Pam Bondi, Cass Patel. Look how nice they act on TV. They pretend to be like your friend. No, guys, they want everybody Catholic. That's it. And they pretend to be nice on TV to hide the fact that no, they're covering up Jamie's murder. I'll go on news right tomorrow and debate them if they'd like about this whole case. They won't get me on the news. The news will not post my story with Jamie alive. I'm telling you right now because I would destroy him on TV. It wouldn't be like you see in these videos on the street with cops and stuff. It's because Jamie's facing a guy with a gun and is scared. If you get me in a news studio on TV, that'd be cake. I wouldn't be. They could have some guys be on the camera with guns, but that wouldn't scare me. If I was on TV, they'd get destroyed. They know they would, because I'd have to debate them so badly. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't even be funny. So that's why I told you when they show the cover up, Jamie's going to be dead or incapacitated. They're just say, why is he like, he's been saying this for 10 years and you haven't heard for 10 years? He called the FBI how many times? They hung the phone up on him. So even after Trump tried to kill me, right? And I got it in video, they hung the phone up on me when I called them, the FBI, because they were in on it. Anyway, which I didn't realize the extent. It's unbelievable. I'm so damaged. I didn't realize the extent of their involvement, even though I should have. But now obviously I do as time goes by. My injuries are sick, guys. How bad they are is ridiculous. It's like 1 or 2% of my brain power as opposed to 100% when I was healthy. I'm not saying I was 100% genius, but at least he was healthy. Now it's like 1 or 2%. And, it takes me a long time to figure out stuff that would be like that. I figure out how to, even now with my injuries, I got to look at somebody for like 10 seconds to notice it. Like cause the processing power of my brain is so much weaker. I got to kind of like do this. So if you just see me looking like this, guys, I'm not really absorbing stuff. I have to really kind of like do this when I really. So I'm so badly injured, guys. I could be looking at something and not even paying attention to it. That's how bad I'm injured. When you're healthy, I shouldn't say free. When you're healthy, usually when you're looking at something, unless you're really dangerous, you're taking it in. Now injured, I could be staring at something, what looks like I am staring at, but not focusing on it at all with my injuries. So just so you know, I have to, I have like so much energy in the day and I have to, um, allocate it to last all day. So I have to be very careful about using my energy. So I'll be on my phone just kind of like this. If they show video of me on my phone, I'll just look almost dead looking at my phone. It's because I'm saving all my body injury or energy to last the day. And I've figured this out over the years, so like how much to exert and how much not to. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's amazing though. I was able to ride to Santa Barbara and back on a e-bike without power. To have that energy was impressive. But if I have to use it all at once, I can't do it. It's weird. I'm still trying to figure that out how that works. So I have decent endurance energy for that in a sense, as long as it's not too much brain. So the muscles can pump, you know what I mean? To pump away, and it's not killing my brain because it's not too much brain power to just pump your muscles. You know, it's like me working out. The actual working out is not that hard. It's obviously the recovery problem that I have with the injury. Uh, anyway, for those who didn't know me, I used to squat 500 pounds, free weights without any drugs, just creatine, which at 220, 5'10", 220, there's not many people in the world who's able to do that without. I look, there's some, I don't know. I never met anybody who was my size who could do it. Obviously, they exist. Some of these powerlifters can do it. Um, I could have done at least 6. I was doing 5 by myself without any spotter regularly, like twice a week for probably a year, 500 pounds, somewhere in that time frame. Um, yeah. So everybody out here knew it, like even Arnold. So they were impressed knowing that this guy can squat 5 because not many people could. I don't, that's about all he could have done. Arnold was about 500, 500. So that's a lot of weight for those who don't. That's more than NFL players can do. That's like top WWE players, wrestlers can do it. Um, I'm trying to think what sports players can do it. There's no baseball players that can squat 500 pounds. Not many football players. Maybe some linemen. No running backs, or I don't think there's. Is there? I haven't watched football in a long time. I don't know who's who anymore, so I can't swear to it. But that's like above NFL players that weight 500 pounds. So I was lifting more weight than NFL players to give you an idea. So to give you some cred, the fact that famous women like me. Well, why do they like this guy? Well, that's some credit right there. The fact that I was lifting weights that NFL players couldn't lift. Um, anyway, yeah. Okay, I guess I could end it. So I'm like the unluckiest lucky guy in the world. I'm lucky in the sense that if you look at all the people who like me, it's impressive. The fact that all those famous women like me and they're at the top, like they're all at the top of their field. Some in the past, some current, and then some like all the years. If you look, like the last to have women who like me that were like super famous 20, 30 years ago, and then some now, it's just pretty. This is impressive. There's no doubt about it. There's no way. But then the fact that I got nothing and I'm on the street, it's like I'm the unluckiest lucky guy. Is that right? How to say it? That's funny. And then to have them do all they did and then had to burn their own houses down, it's like it's unbelievable. The story. My life is the most fucked up life in the history of the. They made it so. It's like my life was great for me. Like, and if you look at the stuff I affected, it's like I didn't have any effect on this stuff. It's like they did it to themselves, and it's unbelievable. If you look at it that way, it's the life I've had is something else. That's for sure. I'm just stunned. All right, I guess I can end the video. I don't know how long it's got to be over. What's it, like an hour or maybe an hour and a half? I have no idea how long this is. It's 9:48. What is the date? It's Thursday. Um, uh, so I'll give you guys an example. I was just at SoFi Stadium earlier. They had the weekend there. You know that guy? He's related, I think, to Kathy, who's posing as homeless on Third Ave. He's involved. Um, I didn't know he was there today, so I went to the stadium. I'm like, okay, I see an advertising for him, and then I go to look at the events. I'm like, oh, he's there today. Um, anyway, he was involved, and he's involved with some of the women who like me. So I can't get away from these people. That's how like I can go to the stadium, and every event she's going to have somebody who's involved. Almost not everyone, but a lot of them. So you guys got to understand. What they're trying to do is link my path now and make it look like I'm a crazy guy with to cover up for the old path. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's related to Kathy. He looks like I'd have to see him again. I know he's involved. That's a fact. So he was just getting big around the time I came out here, which was like 10 years ago. So just before, anyway, a bunch of the cam models on my for games used to listen to his music. I was like, oh, who's this guy? Anyway, so Shakira, who liked me, right, was supposed to play at SoFi. She postponed because they were worried, I guess, I'd be there and didn't want to have her because she actually cares and has cried over me, and so have some others. A bunch of them have now, so they postponed it. Well, what if I'm here when she goes back? It's postponed again. When the Chiefs played here, what's her name didn't go. Just so you know, it's because I was there. Or yeah, I was there. That was an accident too. I had no idea. I went to SoFi Stadium and all of a sudden I see the Chiefs are playing. Oh shit, really? What's her name didn't go. Who my family knows like me. Now, for those who don't know, she's related to Trump. Now you know. And Mike might be as well, the guy who befriended me, Mike out here. So, do you understand? Trump was on the case from the beginning. So, guys, I lived from Connecticut. I was poisoned. I lived, and they conned to get me out of the house because they were afraid I was going to figure out my family was involved. And they felt like they got away with it. So they conned and got me on the street out west, knowing I was going to come out here. And right away when I came out here, they had their family members befriend me on the street. That's what happened. Mike, Ronnie, Joe, Joe's related to the Solano family. He was next to me on Third Ave on the street. He's related to the Solano family. That's why they got $5 million each. You can't make this stuff. Go find that out. Once you know that, you know that the whole thing was a setup to get me out on the street. And they poisoned me in Connecticut. And then out here, they thought I found out and rushed to kill me. The story makes complete sense. Look, it sounds amazing. I survived. I don't disagree. But you can tell I'm injured if you can't tell, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ. Ask to see well, they never show a scan of my body when I'm dead because it's not just my brain. My whole body is destroyed. Well, you can hear me breathe. Just listen to me breathe. I mean, that's ridiculous. That was from the poison too. Much of it. The poison did most of what you're hearing it for sure. This Look, the radiation didn't help. That took away a lot of my feeling. I'll tell. Well, so did the cyanide. It's like the cyanide took like 80% of my body away from me. I'll say something like that, and then the radiation took got me to less than 10% left. So, but that's a huge what's left because that's what's left of you that works. It took, you know what I mean? It's almost like it took more than half of what was left from you. That's how bad it was. It took like 80% of what was left of me away. So it was that bad. So they're both very bad. Obviously, like, the cyanide was first. Um, my life was over right away. I knew it too. It wasn't long before I knew my life was fucking done. And I didn't, yeah. So I knew my life was pretty much ruined unless I can get fixed somehow. Um, Pretty early, especially when my eyes, um, basically I lost depth, like 3D. When you look at stuff, everything looks flat. And when that change happened, I remember it was like within 3 days of me in Connecticut in '07. When I got, you could see the change right. Once that happened, I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Yeah. Anyway, uh, so yeah. Okay, I guess I'll end however long this is.